Hello, you wonderful people. I have returned. I'll just let that disappointment settle in for a minute. I actually got back yesterday, but I was tired, and you know what? I just couldn't handle it right then. But I can handle it right now. Did you see what I did there? Yeah, you will now. Transformers, War for Cybertron, Fall for Cybertron, Generations, blah 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 blah. Siege, Leader Class, Ultra Magnus. And just in case there's any concerns about lighting, I did bring down my lamp, I just haven't turned it on. So, woo, okay. Yes. This was generously donated to the channel by the one, the only, the true master, Balucious. And I wasn't going to review this first. I was going to review the knockoff Robot Masters Optimus Prime. But this definitely isn't a Siege Soundwave situation where I've got to get it reviewed by Saturday morning. That would be silly and very unprofessional. Okay, so let's look at this. And it's a weird one. It genuinely is. Because at a glance, you think, that's very G1 Ultra Magnus. That's really cool. We like that. You know, it's got the things at the back and it's got the holes through so you can see. It's got the missiles at the front here. And it's got the big black guns on the side. And the big guns on the front with the big blue bump. What happened? So this is from the 2007, I think it was, Robots in Disguise Ultra Magnus, because he had Gatling guns built into his front, and let's try and get you guys a zoom on that. So there's 3 barrels in each one. It's kind of nice. They got a little bit heavy with the battle damage, but whatever. These will probably come more into play in the robot mode, but you can use them here. And there's a big gap here I don't like. I don't think there's much they could have done with it, but I don't like that. But that's pettiness. And also, if I want to be really petty, I don't like this. Because anyone who's ever seen an Ultra Magnus figure before knows what these are. But these are just kind of hanging out, and there's like barely a millimeter extra clearance to the wheels. It's not a fan. Like I say, these things are on here and you can pivot them up if you want, and you can have big guns, pew-pews and things and stuff, and you can move these around. These are just imports, but you know, the missiles go at the front, they can just go there, you know. And this gun just pegs into little hole in there. There's also one here, if you must, but we'll leave the gun off for a minute because it doesn't really matter. And yeah, it's not exactly the Ultra Magnus we wanted, but if we're going for the whole, let me just get for the air quotes again, Cybertronian poetic license, they get away with it, it's fine. Now, a la the original G1 toy, this is actually Ultra Magnus and his trailer. So, what we need to do is get this loose from this. There's a clip here, which is a little bit nasty. See those little grey dots? If it zooms in at all, camera. Those 2 grey dots. There's that, and I think it kind of grips somewhere else. I'm not 100% certain because it all kind of hides itself away. So we're going to try and pop this loose. And pop this one loose without trying to break it. There we go. Yeah, this little nubbin sticking out here, this rectangular one, that kind of goes into that groove. I'm not sure if it grips here anywhere. It's all very... It grips, but trying to work out where it grips unless you know exactly anyway. It's a bit... I don't know. Or I'm not very smart, which is the more likely option. So I'll pop this one loose as well. There we go. And this kind of grips this red section on top here. Kind of grips. I genuinely think it's just the grip between these red pieces here. Because they've got a bit of a lip around them. These pieces here. I think they just kind of grip around these sections at the back here, but yeah, whatever. So you do that, and then you can actually slide him out. There's this big grey C shape here that goes around that lump at the back there in the gap. Okay, so we'll put that at the back. There. Put that on top. And here we have... Would this just be Magnus? I don't know. Ultra Magnus, the real robot. And it's not very awe-inspiring, is it? It's a bit... It just seems like it's missing the back half, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not going to badmouth it because it is cool, but if I want to be critical, that's, you know, kind of looks like a robot sitting on his bum with some of the bits hidden. Because you got the arms there and you got the legs. It's, you know, and that is basically what it is, but it's a bit more nuanced than that. And so, again, I like it for everything it does, but some modes sacrifice for others is what I'm going for. But I'm not sure if I showed this, but look at all the detail through that translucent windscreen. That's neat. Apparently Kato's Toy Box has done a... Is that a live event? That's nice. Notifications. Hooray. Yeah. I'm not sure about these smokestacks in the middle. Is that a thing? I don't know. But yeah, that's it. So we'll transform this very simply. And first of all, we're going to split the legs. Because these are the legs. And we actually want to bring them out a fair way. And rotate them down. Now, you see there? There's that notch. That actually goes into... Where are we? I'm going to sneeze. Great. That actually goes into that notch there. So if you line it up, see there? Notch. You see any of this? There you go. That notch goes into that groove. So you actually need to bring them out far enough to bring them down. We might as well try and flip out the heels while we're at it. So flip out the heel. And now it gets funky. You know what? I'm getting sick of sitting down because I can't see what's going on the camera. Hooray! Okay. So we need to wriggle. So there's this little tab there that goes into these. Just need to bring that out. It will pop straight out, but we just need to get that loose. So on this side again. Just get that out. And then we need to... So we'll do this first because I always forget about this step. We'll get hold of this front cab section. All of it. So I don't mind lighting of it because I'm in my own way. Okay. Get this whole front cab section. And on this hinge at the front here, see that? You need to wriggle the whole thing loose and forward. Woo. And flip out the head so it's nice and flat. And close it back up. There we go. Okay. Now we need to rotate these on that pin there. This whole shoulder piece out. It's quite obvious, you'll know what you're doing. And that big notch there goes into... Where are we? There. Ah, now I've sneezed, my nose is... Anyway. So we'll rotate this around again, notch that into there. We're just going to bring these out to the side for now, just to get them out of the way. Because we kind of got him backwards, and there's a weird spine thing. Yeah. So we're going to rotate this around 180. So now this is sticking out the front, and the spine thing's there. You're thinking, well, that's not very good proportions, is it? He's sticking out a mile. Well, it does actually slide back on there, but before you do, what you need to do is make sure that's in the middle, and slide this bum section up onto here. And you do still get the waist. And then you can slide it back. There are some kind of notches. So basically, if you try and slide that up without the body section slid forward, it doesn't like it. So that's just for your benefit. So we'll bring the arms back down, and we'll twist the hands so they're a bit more realistic. And there we have Magnus, Ultra Magnus, whatever his name is, in his normal robot-y mode. And he's alright. But there's nothing to write home about. And this is the main problem with it. Because, try and stay out of the light again. Come on, go straight. Stop it. This is the original G1 Ultra Magnus. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be glass in there. I can't remember. So if you just compare the two for now, I know he's a bit washed out by my lights. Let's sort that out a bit. There you go. If you compare them, they are very similar. This one's got a lot more colour to it. It's got a lot more detail, but they are literally just washed out white Optimus Primes with a little bit of grey or silver in the upper arms. That's it. There's nothing else to it. So you can't blame him for him looking the way he does, because that's how he's meant to look. But it's very bland. Yeah, I'll say that. It's very bland. But it's meant to be this bland. That's how he looks. But, you know, there, all the way around. Head's on a ball joint. 180 thing, even with this up on the back, which is nice. Ankle tilt. Nothing forward and backward, but it's got tilt. And apart from these things sticking out the side, and, you know, the big weird blue bum piece is now on his back, he looks really good. I mean, the legs, I don't know if it's the silver that's bothering me, but the legs do kind of bother me, these upper bits, and there's no... I think it's because there's no real knees. I think that's what's getting me. If there was a proper knee, I don't know. But he's fine. He is fine, and we can give him his gun. And, you know, you can pose him like a champ. He does look pretty good. He's alright. Oh, and there are thigh swivels. But I tend to fight with them. They tend to not want to go where I want them to go. But they do exist, and they are there. And, ooh, nearly 14 minutes. Okay. But the main event, as anyone would know, is the armour can combine and turn him into his proper Ultra Magnus form because he's a sissy boy and has to wear armour. So what we're going to do is we're going to unpeg this piece from that hole, and this piece from that hole, and we shall do the same on the other sides. And there's a moth or something going around by the light, whatever. And now we've got to take this completely to bits, and this is where I get slightly unnerved, but at least I know what I'm doing now, without ever looking at the instructions, because I'm a maverick renegade. Okay, so what we need to do is, to start with, go along the sides and untab them from the various places. The hardest one of these is this. That blue piece there is attached to there, and it's like a sandwich piece that slides over another piece. You'll see when I pop it out, so let me just slide that out. And it also tabs in at the bottom here. Untab that, there we go. So let me see, this piece here is kind of like an eye, like an eye shape, like the letter, not an actual, you know, physical eye. Then it goes over this slotted section there, so that's quite snug. And it also goes onto little groove there where my thumb is. There we go, that little groove there. Not groove, little long tab, whatever. So we'll undo that, and we'll undo the other side. Well, that's not supposed to happen. Alright, okay. Let me just try and wriggle that back into place, just to prove the point of how we do it properly. Go back into place, go back into place, stay in place, good. So we're ending up with this. Huzzah! So what we're going to do, we're going to fold that out of the way for now, just over the top. Hey look, yay! We get this piece and pull it loose. These big lumps on top, these big round lumps on top, those go into these little grips here. When you first put them in, you'll put them in so far. I think they stay there, but they don't. You actually got to push them in flush. Okay, so that's your little tip from your old Uncle Ugly. Okay, so I'll put this piece down there for now. We need to get these pieces and unpeg them. Come on. Yeah, we got a big hole in the side that goes onto a giant peg there. So we'll get that off. And now for the bit everyone's been waiting for, we just need to split these white bits which tend to want to pop apart. So we'll undo that and fall apart. I'll explain this just for you. These tabs here and that little piece there. The tab goes into that slot at the top there. Yeah, that big slot at the top there, up there. And this notch bit goes into the groove there at the top. So it's supposed to go like that. Okay. Okay. So we'll do this bit first because it's the easiest. We'll get this piece, fold it all the way over, and it tabs into place. We'll get this piece and fold it all the way under, and that'll just sort of grip into place. It's not super tight, but it'll just about hold there. We've got this piece, which, let's be honest, is all of that. Okay, so we'll put that down there. We'll get this, and if it hasn't wired to already, you slide one off the top of the other, so they're split, fold the little grey bits up, and you'll end up with the shoulders. Huzzah. You can add the missiles now if you want, I'll get to it in a minute. Which leaves us with these, which is the hardest bits to do, which aren't that hard, you just need to, know what you're doing. So, I'm going to do this in the complete stages. This first bit, you just fold over and done. Okay? So the very first piece, which would be that, just fold straight over. So we'll do it again on this one. Fold over. Okay? Now, what you want to do is fold this about 90 degrees to there, and just fold on this pin all the way over to there. So it ends up like that. Fold again until it's flat, and just fold it around, and it will just sort of grip onto these two bits here. And it's done. And that is one of the legs. And you probably didn't get any of that, so let's do it again. So we'll open this all the way out straight. So you fold the first piece under, and then what happens is you need to double this up, and it needs to go into sort of like an L shape. And you can't just go, oh, I'm just going to do that, and then, because you can, because if I do that, and then you can do that, but I like to just fold over, fold that, fold that. I don't like that sensation. I don't know why. I just don't. Then fold that onto the leg, and it sort of tabs onto everything. Awesome. See that? That might be relevant tomorrow. Look how empty and hollow that is. So we have all the pieces. Now we need Magnus himself. We shall take the gun off him. We shall straighten his arms out. And we shall call Power Extreme. Bonus points to everyone old enough to get that. Okay, so we're going to take somewhat towards vehicle mode. Slightly. So we're going to slide the chest piece forward. Don't need to send it all the way, just enough to slide this back down onto his bum. And we'll slide it back into place. Fold the shoulders back enough so that we can fold the chest panel down, fold in the head, close it back up, and fold those onto the sides. And the last part we need to do is just fold up his tiny dinky ickle heels. And this is what we need for the combined mode. Woo! So we shall start as the usual position and go for the legs. And we will just line it up, and it will want to do it. It's very intuitive, this piece. Just line it up and it's on. Doesn't seem to like massively click on, but it is on. We'll do the other side and it's on. Okay, awesome. What we're also going to do is fold down this little crotch piece here, turn it over and fold it back up. Ooh, that was clever. We like that. Okay. We will get the weird arm pieces. And counterintuitively, you don't go, well, this has got all the paint on, this must be the outside. No, it's not. That's the outside. And it will fold on the pin there. Fold this open. And we want the big diagonal piece at the front, as per Ultra Magnus law. And that will have the peg inside there. If you can see, there you go, peg. That peg there goes into that hole. And this is one of the things I'm not 100% sure about. There's that little slot, which will go into this little tab sticking out there. That slot, this tab. And this sort of gap slot there will go onto these. And I don't know if it's a tolerance thing or if I haven't pushed it hard enough, but they don't really want to go on that well. So if I've closed that up, it's still open. See that? So you have to sort of really kind of wriggle it on there. Again, I'm not sure if it's a tolerance thing. I don't know if I'm shoving it too far or if I'm not shoving it far enough. Shush. But you've got to wriggle it on there and then it will kind of close up well enough. Might as well finish this shoulder. So we'll get this piece. And I'm not 100% sure how it works, if I'm honest with you. But it just slides on the sides. If you get it lined up, it just slides on, goes on. It just does. It's magic. So we shall open this one, slide it on there, and then close it up and try and make sure it all closes up nicely. That one goes on better. We'll get this and we'll slide it on from the side. And it must be something to do with the smokestack. I don't know. Got that, and then the last part of the main robot mode, because all these are, let's be fair, accessories. We need this. So we need that tab and that tab sticking out there. Are we? These. That and that one. They go into that groove there. Come on. That groove there and that groove there. So if we move this over the top, line that one up. Line that one up. There we go. Now there are... Where are we? Blue tab here, where my finger is. On each side, that goes into slot and slot. Bring those down, tab them in. And then there are these two grippy pieces here that just go onto the spine section. So fold those down. And there you go. And they aren't super fun to take off, but they do come off. It's just a bit nerve-wracking the first time you do it. And should we give them a dramatic reveal? Go on then. Transformers blah, blah, blah. Siege Ultra Magnus. He looks pretty good, doesn't he? There's something missing, and it finishes the whole thing. I don't know why, but it doesn't look like Ultra Magnus unless he's got the shoulder missiles. Now, because the pegs at the bottom of these missiles here, it's like that, you can't just have him right there on the shoulder, as it should be. They kind of go up here. Now, you can, if you want, for some reason, plug them in there, upside down. There you go. but that looks really weird and it interferes with the arm articulation. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to plug them in up there. I dare say someone's going to release a second version of them that goes in where they're supposed to go and looks more accurate to the G1 on a figure that kind of doesn't always look exactly like the G1, especially vehicle mode. And Yim is gone. And we got these bits lying around. Yeah, these are... well, look at them, really. These are pure black versions of Transformers Cybertron Leader Class Megatron. Optimus Prime, rather. Knee cannons. That's what they're just black with the silver gun barrel. That's what they are. And so, do they also plug into holes in the legs? Coincidentally, I had the right side for that. That was nice. There. And on this side, let's just do that quickly. I forgot to do a vehicle mode size comparison, didn't I? Oh well. And knee cannon. I mean, I don't hate it, but come on, get your own style, Magnus. I mean, yeah, come on. But yeah, there he is. And I kind of love it. Like, I'm not the world's biggest Ultra Magnus fan, but I kind of love it. The only slight thing I will say against it, does he feel kind of dumpy? Just not like he's 100% size and then someone just brought him down to like 90%. Just brought him down that little bit. It's not a lot. He just seems that little bit dumpy. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but he does. But he does look awesome. The head is on, I believe, a ball joint, or is it a universal joint? Not sure. Not sure, but it does move, although it doesn't like staying up and tends to jump down as soon as it can. Arms will still go 360, they still go in and out, they still turn, still got that, still got the 90 degree, still got the 360 waist, still got the same hips, same knee, and now, well, that much of an ankle pivot. So he's all singing, all dancing, and he does look great, but like I say, it just seems that little bit, just maybe I'm being petty, I don't know. I really don't know. I know there are things that someone's made which make thigh extensions. Maybe that would fix it, but then that makes the vehicle mode look really stupid. So I'm not interested in that. But he is good, bless him. He is really good. And again, not the world's biggest Ultra Magnus fan, but he is really good. And he does recreate that poster art really well. So nice. Size comparison for this mode, let's just straighten him out a bit so we get his full height. And again, he seems really small, but Age of Extinction Bumblebee, he's not small. He's big. He just doesn't seem it. This whole line doesn't seem to bring their full mass to the front of the screen. But yeah, he's very impressive. Very nice. And I do really like him. Now, this small niggle. I don't like how empty those are. And then I had a look on YouTube. And then I bought things before this had even been posted to me because I'm, impatient. And I've ordered an upgrade kit, which will, well, it'll fill in all this gap for a start. This whole empty space all the way around the leg, that gets filled in. Empty hole in the knee. Empty hole in the elbow, which I didn't even notice. See that hole? Yeah, it's going to fill that. And these, more importantly. These are empty holes in the stacks. It's going to fill those. So that's... Well, that tried to turn up while I was away, so that's been redirected to tomorrow. Hooray. So I'll try and get that done. And... yeah, he's very nice. So, Balucious, you are an absolute hero again. And I feel I've been very negative towards him in this review. I've just been trying to be honest, but he's really nice. I took him away with me. I took 3 figures away with me. One was the Robot Masters, the KO one, because I was intending to review him. I just never got 5 minutes to myself. I took Bumblebee movie Dropkick, but I basically took him out of my bag, transformed him once, and didn't touch him again for the whole thing. Magnus was my baby for that week. He kept me sane, where other figures may not. So we now have a deep personal bond. I'm slowly getting a repartee with the B team of the Transformers movie. You know, after all the 18 were killed, painfully, tragically, that made me cry. But that's not the point. This review's gone on way too long, so I'm going to shut up. So, I should be ugly, I should be wretched, and I shall see all of you in the next one. Bye!